Okay, it's day 142. This is part two, and this is the follow-up on Albert Wong. I watched all the coverage of Albert Wong, and nobody came up with the fact that Albert Wong has a DEA license. Now, his DEA license is 2, 3, 4, and 5. He doesn't have one, the highest level, where you get the strongest opiates and so forth, the most addicting. But still, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Other details have come out with his kind of relationship to the group that was run by Christine Lober, this pathway group. And it does potentially drop some breadcrumbs at a potential pathway for actually these illegal drugs getting out of the system, out of the Defense Logistics Agency system, the VA system, into kind of this quasi market. Was Wong the go-between between getting these drugs out of or into the hands of folks that were kind of coming and going, and in that sense providing a kind of a network of a distribution network. Now again, I'm sure these folks had no idea that the program was being used that way, but if I could get people into the program for, let's say, 2 weeks and get them a prescription, now I got them going, so to speak, as far as their business is concerned, almost like Amway. And then I would start another vet in this business. Now, I'm not sure if this is recruiting type business and then getting people started with drugs is what the pathway was, but it just seems that way. Now, the other questions in his background is he was in Army Intel in high school. So does the Army have some kind of program where we're actually providing information about people in high school? Are we collecting photographs of yearbooks or Facebook or trying to reach certain people in high school? What's the Army doing with a junior? Now, sometimes they have scholarship programs, and I've talked to a lot of these people that have the scholarship programs. But again, military intel, there's a 13-year gap in his record between his Army Intel days in high school until he finally goes to Afghanistan as a sniper, or as a marksman, at least as an infantryman. So again, these are questions of what happened in those 13 years that he was running around the San Francisco area. Now, I'm not saying it screams McKesson, because we have other data about McKesson, but there is another Albert Wong on the California Pharmacy Board, very powerful board of determining who gets these licenses and who gets revoked and so forth. So I think this is an area where we need more study and need more research. This definitely seems to be a loophole. These kind of halfway houses, these halfway houses seem to be a ripe area of a quasi halfway house that can get you medication on a come as you go basis, a come and go basis, which would be the perfect place to set up a network. Now, is the Army or a rogue group inside the Army actually organizing these folks, these ex-military intel kids, to actually have these sort of territories? Well, that would be a stretch, but it's certainly worth looking into because these questions still remain unanswered. MSM has had 48 hours on the story and still hasn't even got as far as the DEA license, let alone the military intel background of Albert Wong.